think men have a problem with aging, and that's what keeps them holding on to the desire to pull a younger woman. Um, to me, it's something within them that they've created these societal norms for women to be beautiful and bare womb, and like they put the standards on women to adhere to those beauty standards. And so I honestly think it stems from them having a negative association with getting old, and then they project it on the rest of the world.
I blame the unk terminology. Niggas getting called unk at 25. Just saying.
It is treacherous. I'm not gonna lie.
It's all good.
I just
Okay,
think I
all
think
right, all right.
I think a lot of these niggas, male and female, a lot of these old people, they horny. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of them want to still be whores and they still want to be outside and shit. And they mask it in reasons that really don't make a lot of sense. Like Tracee Ellis Ross explanation, like I don't care what anybody say. I think she was just full of shit for real.
I can also I
Yeah,
can
she
Me
also
doesn't
too.
get a
Me too.
uh
pass
I think
either.
she's bullshit too.
I
But
can
I'm
also
not
say
even
this.
She doesn't get a
I'm not even
pass.
necessarily saying she's fucking like 20-year-olds because I don't know what age she's really talking about.
He said
But
like
to me,
40-ish.
yeah, but for me, like one, that generational gap is not even that much if it's like 40-ish. Like we're still talking about people that
They're
came up
like, yeah.
not that long after you were born. Like what's
How
she's
old is
50.
she?
She's like 50, isn't she? So
That's
like
Yeah, she
weird.
like
she
That's still
50,
weird to me.
so
'That's
fifty
she
still
ish.
was
weird.
she was like born in like the
I don't
80s.
no, I can't let
So
people get this off because I'm not gonna lie.
and
Some of y'all parents got that age gap.
And that's
So you just gonna
weird.
and
Yeah, you
Yes.
and
think you
it's
hold on, hold on, hold on. Even if your
hold on, hold
parents
on.
have that age gap, you
Hold on.
think
Let
we
me land.
condone
Let me
that?
land.
Like
Let me land.
we had a say in that, bro?
Hold on. Let me land. Let me land real quick. I'm not gonna let her get that. Or let me excuse me. With Tracee, I don't care about that shit because it's more so like, dude, you are Tracee Ellis Ross, and the same thing with Shannon Sharpe. What I don't understand about people like that specifically, like these people that are like of higher income and things of that nature, especially to that degree, you have the ability to find anybody in the world, especially at your age. You have that ability. You can do it. If you are, and I think this also applies to regular people too, to an extent. If you get to 52 years old and you are not married and you are still saying you actively want to be married, at some point you just did not make the decisions to do so, whether willingly or your standards were just ridiculous to the point that, hey, you just didn't you didn't find somebody because of that. Like you put yourself in that position. That at that point, that's on you. It is on you, especially if you Tracy Ellis. I mean, you can find any nigga. You tell me there's not a guy out there 45 years old and up or 40 years old and up, whatever, that is good for you. You haven't found them in 52 years of life. She's been famous since she was in the womb. She's Diana Ross's daughter. So all that shit about, oh, well, the guys that I meet around my age are just toxic. They're bathed in toxic masculinity. And to me, by the way, any type of preference I think that's rooted in like trauma kind of shit, you could say that's a little toxic. Honestly, if you're making generalizations about people based on your trauma, I think that is rooted in toxicity, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a trauma response.
So she is I don't know what Adrian she's talking about, like she said, but I just think that's full of shit. I think she just want to be outside, and that's fine. But don't come up here with this toxic masculinity bullshit. I don't want to hear that shit.
Wait, but I would say her saying that she dates younger men because they haven't been infested with toxic masculinity, that speaks to the point I made earlier when I said that younger people, they're exploring their identities. They haven't yet experienced life enough to even find their identity. So who's to say that the young men that you're dating won't in fact come into toxic masculinity as they continue to,
Exactly.
explore themselves? So, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. Like older people, I feel that they can prey on the fact that younger people have not found their identities, and that's one
Not
of the
even,
reasons why
yeah,
they
That
go
that's
after
a
them. They're
manipulative though.
moldable.
and the thing that's crazy to me about it is she talking about these older dudes having this toxic masculinity in them, and I guess maybe her point is like, hey, the younger dudes have less of it, but like, who's raising the younger niggas? Like, who's raising them? Is it not the generation that got the toxic masculinity in the first place? Like, in theory, you can't escape that one way or another. So it's just like there has to be more to it than that. And she also said it's because they're gorgeous. And I think that's another thing. Like, I think this
Oh
is
yeah, that's
fair. I think
crazy.
this is fair to say. I'm not saying it's right or wrong because I think you're still weird regardless of like why you're doing it. But I think a lot of times, a lot of these dudes just see these younger shorties as more fine, and I guess that might be it. That could still be rooted in weird, like weirdness. You know what I'm saying? Because like, for example, I'm just using the example, right? Like look at Ariana Grande. Some people thought she looked like a kid when she was on fucking Nickelodeon and shit. So it might be rooted in some kind of weird shit there. But like I seen this post where somebody was like Bernice Burgos is like 43 and you got these old dudes out here acting like they can't find women that look like this at 40. I'm like, bro, like the average shorty not looking like Bernice Burgos in her 40s. She got a BBL, my nigga. She's not even a real human being. You feel what I'm saying? So like when niggas sit there and say that shit, I'm just like, you're lying. You're not finding Bernice Burgos out there in their 40s. Niggas will just sit there and cap for the sake of for what? For what? Like that shit is wild to me. Drea Michelle not even real.
But wait. Like nobody gonna challenge that. Because said she
Well, yeah,
got a real human being.
I
yeah,
don't
that's crazy.
disagree.
That's just
An
crazy.
extraterrestrial BBL is insane.
Because she got a BBL.
She
But
not natural, dog.
I wouldn't say it's always associated to them being weird. I honestly think people have a fear of growing old, and honestly, people associate being young with being attractive. I mean, you're at your prime when you're 20 to 25, you know? And so I think that honestly, people who are growing older, they want to stay attached to the young hot society as one would perceive it, and I think that's what that could make somebody who's older make statements like, oh, they're so hot, you know.
Hey man, it's time to
I
grow up.
mean, yeah, like I just get tired of the niggas lying. Like I'm not finna listen to niggas sit there and say like you can find a Bernice Burgos out there, especially for regular niggas. Like now, I'll sit there and say for Shannon Sharpe and like Tracee Ellis, if you're telling those specific people, yeah, maybe I can listen to that because they have access to almost any woman out there. You feel me? Like I get that, but like my nigga, like, but let's be real, us regular niggas and these regular females out here, once y'all turn 40, y'all not looking like Bernice Burgos for more than likely. I'm sorry, no disrespect to y'all out there, but it's a fact. Like, because a lot of y'all don't keep yourselves in shape. Y'all don't watch y'all weight. Y'all don't watch y'all diet. Y'all don't work out. Like,
Don't have
nigga,
access to
you're
the
gonna be
money she does
saggy
and
and
the
shit.
board she
Like,
got.
and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing.
That's everybody though. Everybody much
That's
uglier than they
Yeah,
everybody.
think they are.
that's
Exactly.
men too. Yeah, men
Yeah, like
too.
everybody
That
way
Yeah, I
shit
said
gonna
uglier
these.
than they
I
happen
think
said
they
as you
are.
get
niggas
Yeah, there's a
too.
older.
couple sagging niggas
Like
out
I'm
there
not
too.
expecting niggas in their 50s to look like Shannon Sharpe.
But why does a bald-headed, fat-belly dude?
Hmm?
Why do they have the privilege to
Whoa.
date somebody who looks like Bernice Burgos?
But why
Why
do
do they have
old
the
ass
privilege
bitches
to
want a nigga with six packs and that's 6 feet tall and that
hold up?
dumb bitch?
I
That
Okay,
bitch is
agree.
the
No,
it's the
I
same thing.
agree.
What's
I
going what's
agree.
going on?
Right.
wait, what you said, and I'll get to the other point. I think it was Bam that said it, but TT, what did you say? You said why does the fat bald dude what?
Why does the average bald head fat belly man thinks that he could why does he think there should be a bunch of Bernice Burgos walking around at the age of 40 when you are aging just like the average woman? And also I believe that it's a class situation. I see a lot of 40-year-old men and women who look very well, and that's because possibly they have the money to keep up with themselves. And when I say they have the money, I don't mean like Shannon Sharpe money. I mean like just they maybe went to college, got their career, they're able to keep up with themselves and eat healthy. I think it's actually a class situation. And they may not look as good as Bernie's Burgos, but there are some men and women in their 40s that look pretty damn good compared to somebody who has not kept up with their body.
Well, I'll tell
So
you right
they're
now,
out there.
as far as Bernice Burgos is concerned, and I don't think you're saying this, but I'm just gonna set the record clear again. Like when you turn, not you specifically, but when shorties turn 40 years old, on average, I swear to God, you are not looking like Bernice Burgos. You're
Okay,
not.
yeah.
And
Nobody is.
like
Men aren't
so no,
either.
I'm just clearing that. But now as far as you said guys with status being able to get that, or guys with money, like an exuberant amount of money,
No, the average.
or the
Well,
average
so
guy.
what yeah, what I'm saying is most of the people who were sharing that picture saying that the average woman doesn't look like that, those were average men
Uh-huh.
who are also going to age
Yeah, but
and
I think those
decline.
average men are just pointing out that, hey, like y'all are lying. 40-year-olds don't just be looking like this. The average 40-year-olds women don't be looking like this. That's all they saying.
Yeah, but the average 40-year-old woman doesn't have lip fillers, doesn't have plastic surgery, doesn't have
A
like a
BBL.
bunch of different
Well,
things.
that's the
An
entire point of the.
Yeah,
extraterrestrial.
that's
Yeah,
Isn't
like
that the
that's not
that's
point?
even like
Yeah,
honestly
just
about
to
what the
keep up. She's
expensive
So
putting
But isn't
the
that my
shit.
point?
yeah, that
yeah.
is
I
your
think that
point
is that is.
exactly.
I
The
think
tweet,
I think y'all are
the
agreeing,
tweet
but
Yeah,
was from a
she
Yeah.
not even a real human being. That's what I'm
Facts,
saying.
facts, facts. Yeah.
yeah, the tweet was from a woman saying, "Yo, men, why are y'all going out for young girls when we got Bernice Burgos looking like this at 40?"
Like what the fuck,
And the
man?
that's
rebuttal
just
was,
that's a
"Hey,
dumb premise.
lady, I get what you're saying, but most 40-year-old women don't look like this." I don't think it was like saying, "Yeah, we look better at 40 than you at 40." I think it was just calling out
yeah, like not a
inconsistency.
dig, just that woman is not like you said, like a real
She's
person.
not the average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know they're saying a hit dog will holler. So, in my opinion, the only men who were combating what she said were men who may find younger women attractive because of their youth.
Wait, what?
I
I'm
disagree.
confused. What?
No.
So
But
that's
You
how do you get to
what?
that correlation though? That's what I'm confused.
I just told you. I said a hit dog will holler. So
But it's not.
to me,
It's not a. Okay, I'm not
I don't
even.
think it's a good
Okay,
premise. If I call
I
out and
just sat there. I just sat here and said that these old niggas dating these young shorties are weird. I'm saying that I said that off rip, and then I'm also throwing in the idea that a these guys are not lying in their premise. Like that post was dumb. It's not about hit dog hollering. It's that she is literally lying. She is saying things that make no sense. 40-year-old women, black, white, brown, green, I don't give a fuck. 40-year-old women are not looking like that. They're not. On average, they are not looking like that. When they get to 40, I don't give a fuck who this offends. When they get to 40 and they hips start sagging and they start having the beer bellies, if they drink that shit out all the time, if they start looking nasty, especially if they popped out a couple of kids in their life, and it's not even a bad thing. Like I said, I'm sure when I get to 40, like that shit not even gonna phase me. Now, granted, my wife gonna be in shape, but regardless, my point is a lot of these people don't do that care for their body, so they look like that. Like nobody looking like Bernice Burgos. I don't even think a lot of people would think she's 40 if you showed them a picture of her. So the idea of we got Bernice Burgos walking around here. Now, if she clarified and said Shannon Sharpe is fucking a 19-year-old when we got a Bernice Burgos out here, I'd have been like, you know what? That makes a little more sense because he actually has access to find the finest woman at those ages because he's Shannon Sharpe. But like, she just said, man, nigga, I promise you, I see Go Bells out here. Go Bells, my dog. Go Bells, when he turned 40, not fucking Bernice Burgos, my nigga. That's not happening. That availability is not there for him. So
This
she
nigga Buster
she
could use
she,
himself.
she no, no, I'm not using myself. So yes, like niggas are gonna call out and say you're on bullshit. You don't make any sense. Cause she doesn't make sense. It's not about hit dog hollering. That shit just stupid. It's just stupid. That's like me saying we got women out here dating young niggas when we got a bunch of Shannon Sharps running around. Huh?
I wouldn't use Shannon Sharp given the context of his situation, but I
You
understand
know
what.
what I mean, dog. Come on. You know what I mean, bro.
I
That's the
got a
Yeah, you
first.
question
could
Oh,
have
for
said
y'all.
you want to say Jonathan Majors, right?
Yeah,
Jonathan
no,
Major's not even that
Jonathan
old. I'm
Majors?
talking about old niggas.
hey, we can say somebody else, bro. It's some other good.
Nelly.
I
It's
don't know
good
what
old
old
niggas.
niggas. Oh,
Nelly's married
Nelly.
to Ashanti
Nelly.
right
How
now.
old
He's
is
Yeah,
married to
Nelly?
his
Nelly
Like
is
mom
love
or
her
something.
running
50.
Nelly in
their
his
mouth.
He's
50s?
50. Yeah, he's 50
LL
too.
Cool J.
Oh,
LL
LL
Cool
Cool
J
J,
was
bro.
LL
married.
Cool J.
Is he
There you
married?
go.
Relationship?
I think those are married men, but y'all get my point, bro.
Let me
Amen.
go look at Nelly real quick,
What?
Nigga,
What
you're
con-
gay.
what did I miss in the conversation?
bro. How am I gay? Because I want to see what y'all talking about.
Nah.
Oh
Bro,
no, Nelly
Omar,
was
I
on
was
that.
just
Amen.
referring. The convo shifted a little bit, but like niggas was sitting here and acting like you can just find Bernice Burgos at their late age.
No,
But
you
I said
can't.
that should only apply to like the rich niggas.
I see what y'all saying about Nelly.
What?
Yeah, nigga,
What?
you're gay.
Yeah,
You're
you just
gay.
wanted you
Okay,
just wanted
Pause.
to
buddy,
get that off. Hey man, love is love, man. Love is love. Well, what's the
bro.
I mean, he
conversation?
looks good though. Nelly looks
Chill, chill,
good. So
chill, chill,
yeah.
Yeah,
chill,
I
bro.
believe. I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
I feel like as men, we should be able to recognize when another man is attractive.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
don't mean you
I
attracted to him.
agree.
For sure. For
Yeah,
Attracted
sure.
to
You
but
who?
attracted
talking
to
For
about
him.
sure.
I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
what
yeah.
y'all
One hundred
saying.
percent. Yeah, yeah.
Let's be
Nah,
realistic.
y'all niggas don't co-sign with that gay ass
Nah,
shit, man. Get
cause
the
look,
fuck
Nah,
if
I'm
one of
out
not.
of
your
I'm
here.
not agree.
homeboys,
I want the conversation to move forward.
if
Here go
one of your
disclaimer,
Okay,
homeboys was
okay,
Harold.
okay.
ugly, if one of your homeboys was ugly, you would acknowledge that and not take them around the
It got
bad
nothing.
hoes.
It got nothing to do with me.
Personally, I feel like if you acknowledge your homie is ugly, you can acknowledge if your homie is attractive.
Facts.
Exactly.
Well,
Attractive to
I
who
have a
though?
little bit of awareness. I know
Attractive
I'm
to
not on a
women.
certain level.
Definitively, objectively
You
attractive.
gotta know, like, you gotta know the
Attractive to who though?
Bro, why is the
Let's
conversation?
okay,
Object
Why is this conversation
by
going this way?
social norm beauty
Y'all
standards, my
niggas
nigga.
just gay. That's all it is, bro.
I think you gay.
Hey man, love is
So
love.
wait,
Love is love. It's okay.
hold on,
It's okay to be
Buster,
that way.
Buster,
Love is
Buster.
love. You know.
Dom,
No, no,
whatever
no.
you
Serious
finna
question.
say, like you know what my answer finna be,
No,
bro.
no, no. Real quick. So if we can sit here and acknowledge his Go Bells is ugly, we saying he's ugly
I think all
to who?
niggas are ugly, personally.
Okay, let's come on.
Okay.
You
You
might be
too.
What
gay.
what
Right?
what,
So
what we
wait,
talk,
wait.
what was the conversation
Do
about?
you think
Shannon
you're
Sharpe?
ugly? Do you think
Shannon
you're
Sharpe
ugly?
and
I think to another dude, yeah, I
all
would
right.
think.
No, to
No, do
Yeah,
you
you.
think you're ugly to yourself?
I think I'm the exception and the anomaly to the rule.
Of course.
This nigga's a flaming
If you had a
heterosexual.
twin, you would think he was attractive.
If I had a twin, nah.
Okay, nigga.
That's
This
not. That's
You
another
you
man.
know
That's
there are
crazy.
people out there. You know there are people out there who are like married to people who are
We got
twins. And,
Mr. Straight over
like that
here.
shit.
This
Mr.
nigga's a flaming
Straight.
heterosexual, bro.
that boy
Flaming
I
too
am.
heterosexual.
straight.
I
Flaming
guess.
heterosexual. Oh man.
There are people who are married to people who have are twins and they don't find the other twin attractive.
Oh my bad,
That's some
Mr.
Because
shit
they're
they
Straight.
say for the
lying.
TikTok,
Hey,
Are
bro.
they
You mean
They're
identical?
lying, dog.
physically, mentally
Yes,
attractive,
they're
or physically
actively
attractive?
lying.
Physically, they have to
you
be
got it,
lying.
bro.
I seen good luck
You got
Chuck.
it.
You can't be physically attracted to one twin, not the other.
If I married a girl and she had an identical twin, and I'm sitting there saying, "Oh yeah, I don't find that twin attractive," nigga, what? It looks just like the person I married. I'm obviously lying.
Niggas lying.
Okay. I don't. I think you gotta talk to them about it because I've always wanted that too. But I
I
mean,
don't need
that's
to
just
talk
what
to a
they say.
liar about being a liar.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know. But
You
Y'all
regardless,
let
don't know,
nah.
y'all
nigga.
let
You
y'all let
I don't
acknowledge
Mister
find
it.
switch the
I
whole
don't find any man. I
conversation.
don't
I
What
find
is
know.
any
I'm
going
like,
woman.
bro,
on?
what are we even talking about anymore?
My bad, bro.
I was
Hey
just talking
Omar,
how
you think there's a bunch of Bernice
Wait, so
Burgos
you
running
think Kelly
around?
Oubre is ugly?
What the hell?
Absolutely,
Nah,
do
this
you
gay.
think so you think Nelly's ugly?
bro. Any nigga y'all name, I'm gonna say yeah.
Okay, what
You know
about
he's gonna say
Oh
no.
my
Why would you
gosh.
ask
Oh my
another
gosh.
name? Why?
I think what you I don't know what you said, but I think the main thing is why we have these beauty standards for an older generation needs to be studied. Like a 40-year-old shouldn't look like, or how old is Bernice? 50s? She's like 50 or something like
No, no,
that.
no, no, no.
Nah, she
She's like,
40
I
something.
think she's in her 40s.
it's 40?
What'd you
She's
say?
not she's not 40 on the dot, I don't think.
She's probably like
Nah,
43
but
or
I
She's
think
something.
she's
in her
in her
40s.
40s.
She's 45.
She
I don't
45.
I don't I don't think of 45. And that's the
Damn, she 45.
yeah, that's the conversation that existed on social media like last week too even. A 45-year-old shouldn't look like a 20-year-old. That shouldn't even really be a compliment for real for real. Like I understand what people are saying, but sometimes these compliments can lead to like harm and other shit from other people and all that. But
What? It
she
makes
should be okay
mistakes for
looking like a
people.
45-year-old.
Like
So
it makes like it kind of invalidates that like if somebody is a certain age they can also be beautiful. So like if you kind of lead with like, oh, you look a lot younger, like it kind of implies like they can't also be beautiful and be that age. It's just more of just like it's something that society may not be comfortable with. I think that's what bro's kind of getting at.
I think the real harm is in that you saying she looks like a 20-year-old, that's what makes her attractive. Just kind of
Inherently, yeah.
standardize
Yeah.
the
You
beauty
talking about
standard.
for Bernice?
Yeah. To
I don't
just
think
maybe
Bernice looked like a 20-year-old. I think she just looks younger than her age. You feel me?
okay. Well, that's still. I think it's still this point still stands is that she looks significantly younger than the age that she actually is. and I think that's a problem because it sets this standard in people's minds. Like, yes, women
But
should
Yeah, like
look
we
I,
should
younger
look
and
at it like
look
there should be
better.
different kinds of
I
fine.
don't
Like
even think that's
What? That
true.
like
shit should be a
40-year-old
I don't even
fine
think
compliment.
that's
What
should
are
be
y'all
true.
different
talking
than
about, bro?
25-year-old
I
fine.
That
don't.
shit
I
is
don't
a
think that's true.
compliment, bro.
I don't
That
think
shit is
that's
a
true.
compliment.
What do you
I
I
think
think
don't
is
know
any.
a
I
why
think.
y'all.
compliment?
That's
I
some
think anybody
pandering.
with
That's some
sense knows
pandering
that the
talking, bro.
average 40-something-year-old woman is not looking like Bernice Burgos.
But this
She's
idea
not even a
that
real person, man.
this
Like,
idea this idea
She's
that
AI.
beauty this idea that
she is
beauty
AI.
and this idea that beauty and youth are so closely connected and tied together is where the detriment
That's not
to
detriment. That's reality, bro. Like,
I
let's
had to
be
Right.
say that,
real.
but that is reality.
That's
When you
reality,
get
bro.
older,
Come
more than
on,
likely you
stop it,
get
man.
uglier, bro.
Stop
It's
it,
just a
bro.
fact.
Come on, bro.
Like, let's
Stop
not
it.
do that. Let's not do that, Omar.
Like,
I'm not gonna let you do that
stop,
shit.
bro.
so
Stop it.
Why are we talking about this anyway, bro? That bitch is a prostitute. That
Oh,
19-year-old OnlyFans
whoa,
girl is a prostitute, bro.
we
Why is
whoa,
we
this
aren't
Wait, wait,
about
even
hold on, hold on,
we
hold
age?
on,
aren't
hold on,
even
hold on, hold on.
Why are we
conversating
talking
about
about
age,
Is she
Omar.
selling?
older
Is she
niggas
selling? Is she
dating
selling
older
it for
women, bro?
money?
That bitch is a prostitute,
Is
son.
she selling it
because
for
she do
money, or she
OnlyFans
just?
don't make her a hoe.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's not selling.
Are
She's
we
not
Whoa,
going
selling
back to
yo,
pussy.
that?
She's
Are
pause
we
selling.
going
that.
back to that?
Yeah, I would love to go down the conversation of the youth and beauty and all this other stuff like that, and address the point. Jesus Christ, super
I was
necessary.
about to say, are we going back to the prostitute? We're staying with what we
I
was
thought
talking about.
I thought it's a good conversation. I still think that, although I don't think being young inherently makes you more beautiful though. Like
Absolutely not. I
I think is
disagree.
the that's what I'm saying. I
Well,
don't
let me. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Look, and I don't know how many women is in here. I honestly don't
y'all
care.
scared off the first
Uh,
one.
I honestly don't even care how many women is in here. I'm keeping it real with y'all. This is why I said to my sisters and shit, all that extra, because thankfully my family didn't tell my sisters this, but like all that shit about enjoying your youth, I think that's true to a degree. But I kept it real with them, and I'm gonna keep it real with my daughters too. Like once you get to like a certain age, you're not gonna be looking the same way you looked at 25, 26, 27, 28. Like the wrinkles gonna show up, and you could say that inherently isn't making you uglier. I don't think that's what makes you uglier, but I think the average person does not take care of themselves enough to look beautiful at a certain age. They just don't. They just don't. And I don't even think that that's necessarily a bad thing, because there's a difference between taking care of yourself enough to look so beautiful at a certain age versus taking care of yourself decently enough to where you just look average. You look like an average 40-year-old woman. And the average 40-year-old woman does not look as beautiful as the average 28, 29, 25 year old. Like, and if you disagree, I think you're just lying.
I think what's lost in this is that didn't Shorty say that she doesn't drink alcohol, she doesn't do this, she doesn't do that, she doesn't eat fast food?
Wait, what? Who you talking about?
Bernice.
Oh, okay.
So to say, giving her these compliments and giving these praises, or women that are also built like her in an older age, just to protect the feelings of a bunch of bitches that drink every weekend and who's gonna fall off a cliff, and partially or mainly that's their fault, just to save their feelings. I would say you should preach.
No, no, no. Do. I don't. You don't use Bernice, because Bernice. How many times am I gonna say it? She's fake. Okay, her
She got,
body's
yeah.
fake.
She got work done.
She
Trust me.
looks fake.
I'm
She's
just going.
not.
I'm
She's
just going
not
based
real.
off. I just joined this joint 20 minutes ago. I'm just going based off
No,
what
I
y'all are
feel you.
talking about.
I'm just saying, Bernice. The point of Bernice Burgos even being brought up is that she does not look like the average 40-year-old for a reason. She's not a. She's fake. Her ass is fake. I think her
She
titties
doesn't
are
even
fake.
look like the average woman. Period.
Okay, but a lot of women get work done and they don't be looking like that at 40. So you can't just say like, "Oh, okay, she's fake," and that's
Wait,
why.
Yeah, but
a
like
lot of
There
a
could
lot
be
women
a
of
don't
lot
people
even get
more
work
do.
things.
done.
A lot of people do get work done and look like that because of the work,
Okay, so
though.
why do we only have one main example then?
I just because earlier in the
Who's
conversation,
the other
somebody,
Bernice, bro?
what'd you say?
Who's the other Bernice? Who's another example? Because she's the only one that gets brought up in these
Drea
topics.
Michelle.
Look at who's an older shorty that I'll use somebody. I'll use somebody. I'll use
Wait, he did
somebody.
just use Drea. What's wrong with
Drea
Drea?
Michelle.
I'll
What's wrong with
use
Drea?
Drea. Drea's also fake too. She got a fake
No,
ass,
but that's
but
what he's saying.
That's what he said. Another example of the exact same thing.
of the exact. Excuse me, my bad. You said
He said,
another
"Give
example
another
of.
example." Dre and Michelle is the other example.
Yeah,
That
Dre's
is
the.
another example. That is another
That, I guess
example.
that's known, but she's fake too. But you go ahead.
Well, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean by fake?
I was gonna
These
say
bitches
you
be
could just
fake
use
in the
somebody
20s.
like I was gonna say you could use someone like Nia Long who clearly looks her age but looks good for her age. Not
Yeah,
from what
she
I
looks
know, is
good for
Nia
her
Long fake?
age and like still like a girls next door type way. Like you know what we talking about when we
Okay, I
bringing
don't
up
know
the
about that.
Drea.
I don't know about
Bro,
that.
she's
I
not
think Nia
looking like
Long
no
is
Drea
fake.
Yo,
Bernice, bro. Let's be
Like
real.
I'll say people that look good for their age is like the Angela Bassett's, the Nia Longs. Those people look their age and look good for their age. Bernice Burgos doesn't look her age. She's not even real. She doesn't look her age. If we keeping it real.
What do you mean she's not even all right, bro? What do you mean like what are you saying by that?
He
What are
means
you
Her
her
saying by
butt has
that?
body's
gotten a bunch of
fake,
work
So
man.
done.
if you
She
so
got work done.
Plastic
so
surgery, lip
every
fillers.
girl that gets work done, they're just fake and you gotta disregard them in terms of like these
In
kind of
No,
terms of
I'm
the
saying
beauty
conversations.
standard,
if you
yes.
get work done and people hold you as a beauty standard for a certain age, I think that's unfair to regular people at that age because they are not having work done.
Okay, that's back to my
Like they're
point
natural
though.
people.
That's back to my point. You're making it seem like that's all that it is work done. When there's
Huh?
plenty like they'll tell you you get a BBL and you don't stay in shape, then you're going to look busted, bro. Like there is some it's like when guys are on steroids. You can't just take steroids and it's like a video game and then you just like Johnny Bravo, bro. You got to keep working out. You got to keep working at it. So you can't say like that Ashton Hall nigga, the viral running nigga, the fake Drew Walls nigga. He clearly is on steroids. You think he don't work out like 3 times a day?
There's a difference
I
between
don't understand.
steroids and
I
working
don't
out when you
understand.
get a BBL. The BBL, you just got to work out to just be in shape. Like, you just got to maintain. Whereas you're building the muscle with the steroids
Yeah.
from
Bro,
jump.
not
And
everything's
even
going to
then,
be a
even
one to
then,
one
when you work
comparison.
out,
Like it's
even
a
then you
close
could
enough
see
comparison, bro.
but even then you can tell the difference between a BBL and somebody
You
who
guys are missing
genuinely
the
works
main
out.
point,
As
bro. The main
no, I
point
get
is
your point. It's just my you're missing my point in that I don't think Bernice Burgos represents what the average 40 something year old woman looks like.
oh,
That's
I
all I'm
agree with
saying.
that.
That's all I'm
That's
saying. She's
that's a
not
given though. That's the
but
point.
that was the point of the convo earlier when the conversation was why can't these guys find women at their age when Bernice Burgos are around? I'm like, bro,
Oh,
she's not the average 40 some year old
that's
woman.
just better low IQ bird talk. I don't know why y'all staying strong on that.
That's what I was saying. I said these hoes is dumb that say that shit. And then some shorty that was in here was like, the only niggas saying that is niggas that are gonna fuck young women too. And I'm like, how does that even correlate?
Yeah, but then Omar
How
asked
does
a
that
different
correlate?
question.
What y'all got to realize is that when it comes to these male celeb topics, they're still in the mindset that they could get chose by one of those niggas. So they kind of vicariously live through these
Okay, well,
bitches, and that's where these talking points come from. You got to ignore it, bro. It's just noise, bro. It's just noise, bro.
okay,
They should really write it in a diary.
You know what's
okay,
crazy? You're
well,
not wrong at
oh,
all. You're not
he's not
wrong
wrong,
at
but
all. Cause like I still don't understand why like there's like a percentage of women, like young women specifically, that look up to rapper baby mamas. I don't. I never understood that shit.
the convo getting a little derailed. Omar, what was you saying?
Hey, I'm letting you rock out. This the mustard show. I ain't gonna lie. No,
Mustard.
what I was gonna say is though, because I don't even know where I don't even know where the conversation really went. But what I do want to say is that I do still find it. Again, this is about aging. I think the last thing I heard was TT say men have a problem with aging. I think people have a problem with aging just as a whole in society. We don't handle aging well. But so even in that same like conversation and talking point, there is nothing quote unquote wrong with finding a partner who is of your age, doing things of your age, being of your age, whether it be a 12-year-old doing 12-year-old things or a 50 or 60-year-old doing 50 or 60-year-old things. I think it's actually something wrong to try to be something that you are not, force yourself into boxes that you cannot fit in, um, and then try to justify. those actions and stuff. Now, there are some things that come with certain age groups. Again, I don't care what nobody says. I'm a stand by at least that point with Tracee Ellis Ross, where she said that them older niggas is weird. But with that being said, though, 50-year-olds should be with 50-year-olds, 60-year-olds should be with 60-year-olds, 70-year-olds should be with 70-year-olds, 18-year-olds should be with 18-year-olds. Like that's just you know.
I mean, I think Tracy was just doing a cop out. Personally, she just wants to fuck these young niggas, and that's fine. But all this toxic
Then why?
masculinity
Then why,
bullshit,
that's
this
my
is all
problem.
bullshit.
Here's what.
It's just bullshit.
Here's what we should
Because
be
There's some
toxic
talking
there's
about.
femininity,
some
toxic femininity exists, and if a nigga was to go out there and talk about some, I'm not trying to fuck these women my age because hey, these hoes is toxic at this age. That's why
Mustard.
they still unmarried.
He would be valid in that same complaint. I don't
Yeah, I think that's a
understand.
valid criticism as well.
Yeah, that's a valid criticism.
But I don't think that
It
niggas
wouldn't
would
go
sit.
over
Not you,
well. Is the
Omar,
point?
but that would not go over well.
Just because
That
it
But
would
that
wouldn't
not
go
doesn't.
go
But
over
that
over
well.
doesn't
well
matter.
doesn't
That
make it
doesn't
less
matter because her
true.
statements aren't going over well either. Both can be valid.
And
I don't know.
she's getting way more of a pass. Way more.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess way
I mean, that's
more.
just double
What?
standards,
Are you
but
about to
like
I
say
mean,
regardless,
what?
I mean,
Hey,
it's
I'm a
double
fan
standards.
of
But
double
my point
standards. I
was
think
just
double
necessarily
standards are
like
necessary.
I don't think that makes sense to me because she's Tracy Ellis Ross. She can get any nigga she wants. She has
The
been around,
elephant in the
and to me,
room. No, she can't.
and this, yes, she
No, she
can.
can't.
And the thing, she has the access to any kind of nigga she wants. Yes, she can. Now, obviously,
Access doesn't mean
if we're trying to exclude like I don't know Barack Obama or something, sure,
Nah.
but
We got nah.
she can get any kind of nigga she wants. And on top of that, you're 52. You've never been married. You don't have a kid. If you really wanted to be married by now, you were famous when you came out the fucking womb as Diana Ross's daughter. My nigga, you could have been married by now, but you just
But
don't want to
but
be
doesn't
clearly,
that
or your
imply
standards
that
are
she
just
can't get
stupidly
the
high.
nigga that she wants? Because usually in those cases, they're just punching up way too high. Them niggas don't want them. So is that really getting the nigga you want?
Well,
Has that you
I
think
don't
that's been
think
the
that
case?
that's. I don't know if that's the case. I think that one, I don't think that to make this blanket statement that she could get anybody is hyperbolic, but I also
Oh,
don't think it's even
that's
a.
bullshit.
I I I think there's people that aren't attracted to Tracy Ellis Ross. So like that's why I
That's
think that
fine.
that's
Oh my
crazy.
goodness, y'all gonna piss me off.
But
That is not what I said,
even with
and
what
I can't believe y'all doing that.
even with what you're saying, I don't. I think that there's men that quote unquote will find themselves out of Tracy Ellis's range or whatever the case may
Y'all
be.
niggas are such y'all are acting like clowns right now.
How are we
Are
acting
y'all
like
doing? Are y'all
No,
clowns?
seriously?
y'all mean,
Let me
man.
tell
That's
you why
one
y'all
nigga
acting like
talking,
clowns.
man.
Let me tell you why y'all
Talk
acting like
direct to
clowns.
him,
Y'all
bro.
tell me. Let me tell you why y'all acting like clowns. Because Tracy Ellis Ross, she is a multimillionaire. She has status from her success
That's
and girlfriends.
unattractive to
Her
men. That's
successes. Hold
unattractive to
on,
certain men, Mustard.
hold on. From her successes with girlfriends, her success with Blackish, there are more than enough niggas out here. More than enough niggas. Just because y'all sit there and point out, hey, there might be a couple niggas that don't find her attractive. Get the fuck out of here. It's the same shit I'll tell Shannon Sharpe. It's the same shit I'll tell Stephen A. Smith. It's the same shit I'll tell Tracee Ellis Ross. Y'all, there are more than enough people out here in this world that would that y'all can find, especially in 52 years of fucking life. My nigga, you just didn't settle down because you either didn't want to in time or simply you just don't want to. Or
Or
you're
niggas just not attracted to her, bro. Like
okay, so in 52 years of life, she can't find a nigga attracted to her.
But that's not the point.
Y'all
Oh my
niggas
that's
some
not what
god.
niggas
bullshit.
are
Oh my
saying,
god.
nigga. Good God.
Jesus Christ. Go ahead, Planet.
why
Y'all
you so
sometimes
mad at
y'all be holding up
So
the
I don't
conversation.
so although I feel kind of weird because like my girlfriend is actually a little bit older than me, but I think that I'm gonna just kind of speak to the point
Wait,
that
how
Omar
much
brought.
older though?
She's 30. I think she's like I'm 28. She's like 32, like
Yeah,
30, 31.
you're getting
Oh,
preyed on, brother.
I get.
Chill out.
Oh no, you're a
how?
victim. You're a
How?
victim.
I think
Oh
that when
no.
it comes to dating in general, I believe in dating in like I guess like relative age ranges, of course. But I think that beauty scales. I think that there isn't really a point where if you're able to take care of yourself as you grow older, there's going to be beauty within that age range. I don't think that it just kind of cuts off at a certain point, and then you have to look to the younger generation to see it. I feel like there's I want to be attractive at 28 the same way I want to be attracted to somebody when I'm 35. And I just feel like that there's it's different. Like I think that the way Tracee Ellis Ross looks is a different find than somebody like Keke Palmer looks. It's like, and that's kind of like how I feel on that for real.
Yeah, I just don't think anyone should like if you're 50 and you want to date someone who's 25, we shouldn't it shouldn't be a barrage of people like, "Yo, what are you doing? Yo, go hit them 40-year-olds. Like let them do what they want, bro." Like that's what it shouldn't even be a conversation, bro. That's your personal choice. But if we're going to make it a conversation, let's keep it consistent. I don't like how Shannon's getting done because this nigga Leonardo DiCaprio gets out the news cycle real quick. That nigga 50. This nigga Bill Belichick got his bitch on the field. That bitch was on the field.
And he like 80
Yeah,
something.
that's a situation where you get preyed on.
He's
But
going
he's
to be
also,
grandpa.
but they're also,
But
and mind
it's
you,
all they're
Yeah,
white.
that's
I
literally the
know, no,
only
well, no, no,
difference.
no.
White
I,
Exactly.
people
So
don't.
I,
Bro,
let's
Bill
take
I
care
know
care
Belichick
of
you,
is
I
way
know
Shannon
Hold
you
on,
instead
hold
of
on.
probably,
burying him,
I
bro.
know you probably want consistency from a certain place. I'm just gonna let you know, in here it is consistent. Those people that everybody that we're naming is weird.
Yes.
I just think
yeah, but
the
this is a
people.
black
I think the
conversation.
people. I think the people you're
Only black people
mentioning,
do this.
especially
White people don't do this.
yeah, and I don't think one that is very true. Like I don't think white people are really having these convos, holding these people accountable like that. And Bill Belichick,
What white people
They're
are y'all
having the
talking to?
hold
conversation,
on.
but they're probably but they're not
Bill
becoming.
Belichick especially. I don't even know why you're using him as an example because he's not. Nobody really gives a fuck about Bill Belichick personal life. It's
Bro, he's
just
the goat. He's the
Bill
goat
Belichick
coach
as
of
a
football, bro.
personality.
Come
I
on,
get
bro.
that, but like I'm seeing people drop Bill Belichick name in the Shannon Sharp comment section to these
They,
females. How do
bro,
they
he's
even know who
in
Bill
football,
Belichick is for
bro,
real?
bro.
Because of who he dating.
But still, he's the greatest football coach of all
These
time.
hoes
Shannon
don't know
Sharp
Bill
is one of the
Belichick.
greatest tight ends of
But they
all
know the
time.
hoe he
I
dating.
mean, but you don't use
I
Bill
know he's
Is she
Belichick even
famous
though
or
segued
it's a
into
something?
perfect
media,
example.
but
Nah.
he's one of the top 5 greatest tight ends of all
And
time.
what does that mean to
He
your
played
side
with
bitch right
John
now?
Elway. So it's
Leonardo
relevant
DiCaprio is a
enough,
perfect
bro. Like
example
people
if
know
Bill
Bill
DiCaprio's
Belichick.
a better
Wait, but
example than Bill
why do
Belichick.
y'all feel like people aren't talking about these things?
Not a,
Yeah, like
but
these
Omar,
things
you
are
know the
talked about
point.
often. Like Leonardo
I
DiCaprio
get
was
the
talked about at
point, but like
every award show he
I
went
think
to.
we gotta blame ourselves if that's the case because we're the ones who sit there and have these conversations anyway. If we want to sit there and hold people accountable, hold the people accountable that have these conversations. Hold those people accountable, not like the average person who just stumbles on this story. Like I'm not expecting a young shorty in Atlanta to know about Bill Belichick dating life. I'm not expecting that.
Now that
I'm
is,
also just
I do
not. I
agree.
think
Well, go ahead, Wes. Go ahead, Wes.
okay, quickly. I just think the greater point, we as a people should stop like speaking on how adults legally have sex with one another. Like, I get the accusation. I'm not talking about the accusation. I'm not talking about that. Assuming everything was above board, because there are text messages at one point that I guess would corroborate, this was above board at some point. When a 56-year-old and a 19-year-old legally have sex with one another, everyone should shut the fuck up. And for some odd reason, people don't seem to be okay with doing that. So now I think that's the bigger issue than anything else. I
But
think
wait,
it's super, super
Aren't
weird.
we starting because the assumption is that, or well, the story is at least that it's not consensual.
It's it's been brought up, okay, this is why you're dealing with this. Because you're dealing with the 19-year-old. It's like people are using um it's a confirmation bias a lot of times, and whether you believe he did it or not, I don't care to get into. Like, that's none of my business. The process will play out, and either criminal charges will be filed, and they'll take him down, or she'll get some type of settlement so it goes away and he doesn't have to continue to deal with it, or
So
she
Wes,
won't get a
let me
settlement.
ask you, if your daughter, I don't know if you have kids, I don't know how old you are, but let's say you got a daughter who's 19, 18, just got out of high school, and you find out she dating some nigga that could be your dad. You rocking with that?
rocking with and understanding that 18 and 19 and 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds
And then you adding
legal.
extra
You
numbers. I
asked me a
said
question,
18,
so I'm
19,
you asked
21
me a
is fine
question.
with me.
You okay? Cool. 21 is still young in the grand scheme. Like I think these are arbitrary numbers that people get outraged about and have
Y'all
these
gotta
crowds
stop
about for no
asking niggas
reason.
that don't have kids what would they do if they had kids.
Yeah, because
These
I
niggas
just
don't know.
realized
I mean, I
Nigga,
think
I
you can
have a
be
child.
upset
What the
about it,
fuck
but
you?
uh,
like, what do you
honestly,
actually
I think
do
Nah,
with
that's a
that
bad
but
as an
argument.
adult? And then
regardless,
I
make adult
think
choices
I
like
think the
that.
whole
okay.
daughter thing is a bad argument because there's tons of things that I wouldn't want my daughter to do, but that I'd be okay with someone else's daughter doing. So I don't think that's a good
Not
argument to
not
have.
even that. I'm gonna just keep it
Yeah,
at that.
because you're
Wow.
her parent. You're
Not
gonna
even that. I'm gonna keep it at that. Wow. If we talking about the whole daughter sister shit, my nigga, let's keep it real, bro. Other than like obviously we not like assaulting people and shit. So please don't take this the wrong way. How many people in this space have? I mean, I'll use myself because niggas gonna lie. There's definitely ways I've handled relationships that I wouldn't want it handled with my daughter or some shit like that. Like whether it's misleading somebody, like treating them like a side chick, putting someone on a
You cheated.
roster.
You
Like
cheated. You cheated. Just yeah.
I'm not even talking about cheating, bro.
Yo, but did you cheat?
This ain't about me. And I
Oh,
when
When
did
did you?
nah, this is
I
So,
ain't
nasty.
a cheater.
how you gonna
I
So
establish?
don't
did.
I'm gonna
cheat.
use
So you
me
did.
We
as
all
an
get that
example.
So you
When
did.
point.
I
We
barely
can
get in
all relate to
relationships, so
that.
I know I don't cheat. I don't leave that window open for that.
Mm.
We can relate to not treating someone the way we would want
Exactly.
our daughter treated.
Like
But
But
but to
that
put
wasn't
it
my greater
But
point to
after a certain
answer
point,
the
that is still
question.
an adult, so I can be as upset about it as I want to be. But if I'm not, and I can't, or at least I believe that I'm not going to be able to control my daughter. So if she's doing something that is legal, I can be upset about it. I can frown upon it, but it's like I can't really move that needle either way.
no,
I
I'm
can
not
hurt it.
saying like y'all tell her like no, you can't fuck with this, but I'm just saying like your input as far as like what you would say to her. That's what I meant by that.
and
Like
it's wild to me because the only reason why I'll say Shannon Sharpe is not a predator in
somebody
this
said,
specific
Wes, shut
incident.
your lying ass
So,
up.
The
Jesus
only
Christ.
reason why I will say he's not a predator in this specific instance is because she is an OnlyFans model. Like she knows what she's doing enough to sell her body. So she's not being preyed on. This is how she makes a living, at least partially speaking, because I don't know if she got another
Wait,
job.
so you don't think OnlyFans models can be preyed on?
They can be if like they're forced, coerced, or like assaulted, but that's not what
Wait a
I don't think
minute.
that's what's
What?
happening here.
well, I don't think
That's the
that's the same
claim.
thing.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't think if that's what I'm
No,
saying. If Shannon
he's
Sharp,
saying for
if
the age limit thing, not
if
assault
that,
or
but that's
anything.
what
He's
I'm
talking about
saying.
age limit. He's
That's what I'm
saying
saying.
like an OnlyFans model about the age limit, not
Because
anything else.
people are saying he's a predator just off of the fact that they had a consensual relationship. And if it was a consensual relationship, then like I don't see how he's a predator. If he assaulted her, if he actually did, do the things she's accusing him of, that's different.
Wait, but
That's
so
a different
let me ask
conversation.
you. But then you said it was because she's an OnlyFans model. So let's take out the fact
If
she's
there
an
was
only.
if it was consensual, yes.
Wait, no, wait. Don't take. Listen to what I'm saying. If you take out the fact that she was an OnlyFans model, Shannon Sharp is 56. She's 19. Is this is she being preyed on? Is he a predator?
If she wasn't an OnlyFans model,
Yes.
uh, yeah, probably I could say that.
No, the answer should still be
What
Whoa.
the
no.
fuck?
They met each other at a gym. It's not like he was. Come on, man.
So
We
wait. Can we address that he's saying
they're
the
adults
fact that she's an
living life in
OnlyFans
the
model
world as adults.
takes away the ability for her to be preyed on?
That's what he's saying. That's what
No,
he's saying.
Yeah, you tweak.
I'm saying in this instance where there's money being exchanged for sex and she is looking at this like just a transactional relationship, how is she a predator? Like that
But that's
changes a
not how
lot.
it. But that's not how it
Yeah,
started off. So
yeah.
we're trying to figure out what we're trying to figure out where you're
But
going.
we don't know how it started. Even if they
No,
met
we
at the
do
gym,
know.
We
Well, let
do
me say this:
know.
we do know based off of the claim. So there
her
wasn't
claim,
any.
right?
Yes, her claim was
I
to
mean,
her.
he made a claim too, though, Omar. Don't forget that.
No, but
He's
he's talking about how it started off. So the claim is that
Okay,
okay.
and I don't think
no,
she's
listen,
until
listen, Mustard, because everybody might not know. The claim is that they met each other in the gym. He pursued her for a while until she decided to finally see what was going on. He asked her to sign an NDA. She wouldn't sign an NDA. She still came to the house. At the house, she was invited into his room. He cuts off the lights, sits in the bed, and they sit there for about 10 minutes, and then they proceed to have sex. She then goes over there again the next day. She was 5 minutes late. That's where he started, berating her and stuff like that, and that's where the relationship goes. But so Mustard is saying, just to be clear, so I just wanted to lay that out because that's her claim. I don't think Shannon Sharpe has spelled out in detail that specific first incident, but that's the claim. Mustard, you're saying though the thing that would negate it being predatory or not predatory is the moment that money enters the transaction. So if they first started off with no money,
But
if
again,
I'm
that's
saying
that's
if
why I'm saying that's why I'm saying I would need more information to even come out that's that I can actually confirm is true or not.
I'm just saying if
Because
though, but I'm just asking if,
if it starts off and it's not transactional, yeah, that is predatory. But
and then
if
it
it is,
stops being
but
predatory when she takes the money.
when it becomes money, yes, everything further on from that is not predatorial. Because unless like because it's not like their sexual
That's like the part that
relationship
like we trying to get
it's
you to
not it's
rethink.
it's not like their sexual relationship itself was forced upon her. She had the choice to fuck this guy or not,
I,
even if he pursued her, because the pursuit itself, like if he kept going and she was not interested, that's weird, that's predatory,
but using
especially
money
considering
inherently is predatory behavior at times,
it
especially
can
when
it
you
can be, but if she's selling ass, how is it
that
predatory?
that still doesn't
And
move from the
if it's
Did
point
not
he
you're
know that
predatory,
she was
mustard,
selling ass
mustard,
when he met her in the
mustard.
gym?
If she's selling ass, then this is a totally different thing because at that point they're just in illegal prostitution.
I mean, I don't know what state this happened,
Yeah, I
so
mean,
Did
somebody being
Shannon
older
know
accused
that
of
she
tricking
was
with
selling
somebody is
ass
different
before
than
he
selling
met her?
ass. Like that's not exactly the same thing. And either way, some
Eventually,
she could have easily
predatory
told him.
there was
happens
For
some.
all we
even
know,
There,
the
if both
story could
parties
be
are
she told
consenting at
him.
one point.
We don't know when she told him that she sells OnlyFans. We don't know when that
there,
happened. We don't know when he found that
they was
out.
fucking around for like 2 years.
But what I
So
But
find
I'm
what I
saying
find to
prior
be
to.
what I find to be interesting in the conversation is because again, it was never disclosed that she was on. He's the one who inserted to the fact that she's OnlyFans. Which one, if you aren't believing one side, I don't know how you can then also believe the other side. But nonetheless,
But I'm not. That's what I'm doing. I'm not believing any side right now. I'm saying until I have all that information, like all we know is that based off the messages that he has released that I believe are factual, right? Because I don't think he's
what?
just
Then you
releasing
believe
yeah,
on one
the
side.
lawyer didn't deny. The
the
lawyer
lawyer.
didn't deny.
Well, the text
Her
messages
lawyer
as
didn't
the text
deny
message
it.
as the
That
text message come out. Okay, you know what? Fine, Omar.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
go all the way.
Her
I'll meet you halfway. If the text message, do you believe there was a consensual relation? Not consensual. Do you believe there was a relationship where money was involved for sex?
I mean, I maybe.
Considering she's an OnlyFans model and he released text messages of her talking about money.
I don't know if she's an OnlyFans model.
Okay, so Pete, right? See,
Has
I
that
check
think
not?
that's
it out.
already
Check it out.
confirmed.
Check it
Isn't
out.
that
I
confirmed
don't
I'm
already?
about to
think
say, is
that
that
he
not
was
confirmed?
paying her for
Nothing
sex.
I think
about.
I
that's confirmed
think
already.
he was just paying her and sex was happening. Like I don't think that every time he was trying to fuck, he was paying her to do it. So I don't think that he was paying for sex. I think that he was tricking, and I think that he was just doing those things and also happened to be hooking up with this girl. Like I think that you're like kind of
Huh?
conflating like selling ass for like a sugar daddy situation. Like that's more so.
Look. All that other shit, nigga. Like I don't even know what y'all even on.
But even no, but no,
My thing is
you
just if
you completely ignore what he was saying. Her doing OnlyFans doesn't mean that she's selling pussy automatically off her.
oh
If
my
we're gonna,
god, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if she was selling pussy to him, that to me is not predatory
oh,
on
if
his
you just
part.
again the
Saying that
if
she's not selling
I've been
pussy.
saying the if. That's what I've been saying.
you said it was factual, the text message. It's not always been if. I'm trying to figure out what
No,
is
no, no.
factual and what's
The
not
text
factual.
message is
I
the
thought the text
text
was
messages are
factual. Is that
factual.
not?
They are factual.
Are you
Yes, they
talking
are.
about the ones that he put in his statement? How do we know that's factual?
How
Because
do we
the
know the gym shit is
because
factual?
I'll tell you how because Tony Busby came out on TMZ and said that he wanted to release text messages from her and release her name. Then because I'm gonna release this video.
I
the
can't
video
say.
with him talking, choking and shit.
And
So
mind
yes,
you, if that's
the
even
text
the
message
case,
is
if that's even
factual.
the case, then the texts are even more factual than that fucking gym story you're
Uh,
saying.
Omar, also, there has been like more text messages that came out that are
Yeah,
like,
yeah. There's a lot of text
But
messages.
that's not
There's
the
a
text
lot of them.
messages that he's referring to. I know what text messages. We haven't even gotten to that. But those text messages are two different. Where is Tony Busby on TMZ?
Okay, hold on.
oh, I didn't, yeah, I didn't see that.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
Tony
he
If
Busby on
said.
if
TMZ.
I didn't see that, but if that is true, if Tony Busby
Yeah.
has even come out and confirmed that those texts
We don't even
are
Mustard.
true,
We don't even have to say anything because we don't know if it's true or not. Just don't even. We're not saying anything.
nigga, no, I'm gonna say something, bro. What the fuck, nigga?
What's the point of saying? What's the point of
If
saying
Tony
if it's
Busby
true?
if Tony Busby has confirmed that the text messages are true, that in that statement that he's about to pull up, then that means the text messages have more credibility to this argument than the fucking gym story that hasn't been approved at all.
I
Like
don't think that.
you're
Like,
using
I'm
that
not gonna
gym
lie.
story as almost
I don't
No,
think
facts.
they would lie about
he
the
didn't
gym
go on
story.
TMZ.
It
Tony
doesn't.
Busby made a post on his
That's not
Instagram
something.
speaking about the
The
claims that Shannon Sharpe and his lawyer spoke about. So I have that. I can throw that in the jumbo if you want, but I think that's what he's speaking.
But whatever in the
yeah,
jumbo. I'm not even listen, I'm not speaking. I'm speaking on what's being said. I don't know anything to be fact or not or whatever the case may be. We're speaking on what's being said.
yeah. What the gym story and the text messages? I don't see why they would even lie about like that. That's not gonna have any. Oh, they met in the gym. What doesn't
I
matter. They
think
met.
they both have
Yeah,
reason to
that's not
lie.
something to lie
What are you
about.
talking about?
Like what the fuck?
They
What
both
they
have
like?
reason to lie in order to
No, no,
prove.
I know, but I'm saying they met in the gym. It's not gonna change anything. They met in the gym. Like I don't think that
No,
they're gonna
that
lie about that
definitely
shit.
does
Yeah,
change. That
No, because he
I
definitely
don't
wants
think
does
that's gonna
people
change.
change much, bro.
people
It
want to
They
definitely
met in the
does
gym.
change because, say, for instance, they met at a party or a totally different setting.
For
That
sure.
definitely does change the dynamic of the interaction.
well, even if we're taking because okay, so let me say this. Let me say this, and then I see Me's got his hand up. The text messages that I saw, not the ones that Shannon Sharp written up, but it looks like these were records gathered from maybe the provider or whatever the case may be, is at the top of the space. These texts were released to TMZ Sports along with hundreds of others on Tuesday afternoon. Most of the messages show what appears to be a kinky consensual relationship between the
Yep.
two. In one which Doe sent to Sharp in June 2024, she says, "I want to be abused, daddy." In
Yeah.
another she sent in July 2024, she writes, "I want you to tie me up and abuse me." In the third one, she requests some hardcore BDSM action. All that is fine. I do see one though that says, "But I cried when you left because I begged you to put a condom on and not to put it in my ass, and you
Yeah,
didn't
that's
listen."
what she's accusing him of rape. That part.
That is
That's
that.
what
What
she's
is that?
accusing him of.
What is that? I know there's some Kobe truthers in here. What is that?
That's her accusing him of rape, and then
No, I'm asking what that is.
what do you mean what
if
that
if
is?
if
Sodomy,
if you
sodomy.
thank you if we're taking this text message because the text messages are true, if we're taking these
Uh-huh.
text messages for what they are, she said that she did not want or she wanted him to put a condom on and not put
Hmm.
it on his ass and not put it in her ass, and he said no and went against that. What is that?
Someone play the Migos music.
That's rape.
Oh, that just means she's accusing him
Oh,
of rape.
shot brother.
Wait, what? What do you mean? Stop.
I'm just asking you what the action
Because
is.
Yeah,
not
that
only
would be
That
a
That's
no,
No,
she
rape.
they
that's
already
her accusing. Nigga,
answered,
you,
bro.
you
They
just
don't
asked me what
know.
it
They
was. I
don't
said
know,
she's
Omar. So
accusing
I
him.
I
answered
mean,
it
but if
for
you
for
say
who
You
you
that,
did,
want.
Yeah,
Wes.
he's
I
accusing
Wes
him of
I
rape.
Wes I appreciate you.
But he didn't respond. What he said was, "Oh, I'm gonna call you later." That's that's what there was no like. If he responded and said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't," he said, "I'll call you later." He didn't confirm or deny anything. So that's messages.
man. I don't know how we even got to this point. All I'm saying, bro, is that like, if there was a consensual relationship that was transactional, like I don't think she's a predator, or excuse me, I don't think she's being preyed on. Is that the right word?
The
Prayed.
truth,
We just
Preyed
don't
yeah,
on.
we
preyed
don't
on.
we
The
don't
Predated.
truth
we
is,
don't
Predated.
I don't
yeah,
think
know.
she's being preyed
Bro,
on.
it's prayed.
the
And
truth
we're
is,
saying
both of
I
we're,
them
said
are preying on
predated.
each other more than
Predated
likely.
is
That
insane.
that's the truth. The truth is, yo,
Predation is
but again,
predator.
I will always contend that it's not the same. And again, it doesn't. However you feel about 50-year-olds fucking people who were 30 years younger than them, it's on you. I don't care to get into that. Yes, there, you have a right to feel how you feel. At the end of the day, though, I think there's something that's not always inherently um ill-willed or ill-spirited about that, because a lot of that is just about the transaction, and sex is so transactional, and it's a lot easier to have those transactions with people who are super young than it is to with people who are 40. Also, along with the scheduling and those conflicts, the traveling, et cetera, we all know what Shannon Sharpe does for a living. We all know how he's between two coasts, how he's working for, I think, like eh, 3 or 4 different companies, like all of those different things that are going on for him. Um, it inherently at times makes sense for him to deal with his love life, if he so chooses to, in a transactional manner. And I think that part just has to, like,
Yeah.
it should be okay. It shouldn't
You
weird
know,
people out as much.
Yeah,
and the lawyer just released new audio tape too today in the morning.
Oh,
yeah. I
who did
just
that? I didn't see
no, I
that.
Yeah.
just
But the thing, yo, it's like their relationship, the way they talk, he's talking to her, is like some abuse shit. Like,
James, you can go
but,
after this. Go ahead.
all
Go
right,
ahead.
let me just finish this. Yeah, it's like some abuse shit, right? And she keeps going, like he's talking to her, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna choke you, this and that. But then she keeps going to him, and then like I think she's making it seem like, oh yeah, he just wanted, but she in messages saying to abuse her. So it's kind of weird, like the way she's making it seem. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Go ahead, James.
yeah. I just don't think it matters to them because we saw a black man running away from a white woman and still get convicted of assault. So I don't think it matters to them. But what I wanted to contribute to this conversation is that I remember when I was a 24-year-old senior, because I had spent 4 years in the military, and I was attracted to a 19-year-old sophomore, and even that made me uncomfortable. Walking around campus with a 19-year-old girl who's obviously and looks visibly younger than me, it just didn't feel right. That's 5 years. This dude is 35 years old, older than this woman. I mean, it just transactional or not. We could see the hazards of transactional relationships from Zion Williamson. Like that's a disaster as well.
Shout out Anthony
He's be
Edwards.
yeah, exactly.
Zion was fucking somebody older than him. What are you talking about?
No,
No,
but
no, no,
he's
no,
no.
no,
That's not what he's saying, and
no,
that's
no.
why
But
that's why
No,
mustard
but
is
but
but
wrong.
I,
But
I
finish,
think
tran,
that's why it's a
finish.
bad point. Yes, it was
What?
transactional,
trans
What's up?
tra,
No,
but
finish.
transactional.
it's not
Say
the
it again.
same point.
Hold on, let me land real
Yeah,
quick. Transactional relationships are risky anyway because 9 times out of 10, one or the other or both are going to end up catching feelings regardless of the transaction. And then having a young, I mean, Shannon Sharpe, this is just some pervert mental shit from Shannon Sharpe. I mean, he's a pervert. I mean, you're 56 years old, you're on the back nine of your life, and you fucking around with a girl who's basically high school. I'm sorry, yeah, almost a high school senior, college
Yeah, if you
freshman,
get held back,
sophomore.
if you get held back, yeah, you just graduated, nigga.
So yeah. So basically, you're dealing with a child, and you wanted to deal with the child because, as we saw on the tape, you like to manipulate and control. So there's something wrong with him that he can't deal with anybody who has brains or who can think for themselves. I think that this represents the, I don't know, like a swift descent in his career. Like, who's going to sign him a $9 million or a nine-figure contract now?
they will.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he's finished. Yeah,
Barstool,
he's
Are we
done.
Barstool
dead
He's
Sports,
done.
ass?
Barstool.
He's finished.
Let me tell you, as soon
He's
as
finished.
this case is over, and I mean, a really positive sign is, like, the people who are in business with him, people who are in bed with him, are staying there. They're sticking with him. He has not been cut from ESPN yet. He's not been cut from his sponsors with
I don't
like
think he's
club
coming
trips.
back for a while.
He has not been cut. I didn't say anything about whether he's going to be on air. He has not
But
been
but
cut.
just because you haven't been
So
cut, that that can still kill your career. Like look at somebody that was a part of
Yeah,
ESPN,
because he's gonna sign a new deal.
yeah, like Max
Yeah,
Kellerman.
he was gonna
Max
sign a new
Kellerman
deal.
hasn't been on TV for God knows how long now.
Max
Wait, I thought
Kellerman
earlier
also
y'all
didn't
said.
have
I thought
any
earlier
Max
y'all
Kellerman is
allegations
a
said.
with.
different
I
situation.
thought
Yeah,
earlier
like
y'all
yeah.
said that Shannon said that the audio was AI edited.
Yeah, he said it was
No, when he said,
somebody said it was edited. I don't.
no, he said, yeah, he definitely said it was edited.
No, 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 no. Like it was AI voice and that it was edited. He's just saying that it's edited to leave out context, not that this is a fake voice. He says this is him.
Oh yeah, this is him. That's him.
Okay,
Yeah, but
let
he
me say
doesn't.
let me say this. Let me say this. So what James was saying earlier about the point of Zion is because Mustard made the claim that because there's a transaction, it can't be predatory. But the conversation, there's two conversations that stem out of that is one, do we think that the Zion situation was predatory? And two, how do we define transactional when it comes to these types of relationships?
I think in a situation where y'all like I see you like you selling ass, we have a conversation, we come to a realization like you selling the pussy to me, and then like
But what is that,
we just
Mustard?
go from
I'm
there.
sorry, I'm sorry. I need you to be very concise and clear. She has an OnlyFans. That does not mean that she is inherently selling ass,
Okay.
right?
Well, I'm gonna go off the if I'm gonna for this instance, I'm gonna go off of the text messages that say that imply she's selling ass to him.
What's the text
So
message that implies that she's selling ass?
25K for each
the
cheek.
25K per
But we
cheek.
just okay. So I just asked a second ago. Are we believing those text messages or these green bubble, pink, blue
I'm
bubble
looking at
text
all the
messages?
text messages
Also,
right now.
so wait, Omizi, are you trying to say like she was just playing around
No,
when she
no,
said
no.
that?
Listen to what I'm saying. Follow me, please. Just slow for a second. Be
Okay.
patient. I'm gonna walk you there.
Uh,
The only thing that I saw about 25K for each cheek
mhm,
was a written statement from Shannon Sharpe's team
mhm.
at the top of it. We just
Yeah.
had a conversation as to which text messages we are respecting. The
I
only
don't even
ones
know
that
why we're doing this when I'm
No,
literally
respecting
I'm
all
just
of them. We're
the
Yo,
respecting
same
these
way
all of
the
them.
same way
OnlyFans
earlier you
girls,
went off the
semantics.
assumption of what
They're
she
they're
said
they're
about the
diet
gym.
prostitutes
Like
anyway.
why can't I do that just for the sake of this
I'm
conversation?
asking you. I'm asking you. So
And I'm simply I'm
you're taking her
not taking
25K per cheek.
I'm not taking anybody as factual because things can still be misconstrued, but I'm saying this is how I would say he's not a predator. That's the only thing I'm doing right now.
Dog, I wanna get to the how is this transactional? You said she's doing OnlyFans. We
Oh
both
my
can.
goodness.
I'm mustard because I'm really confused. I'm really trying to get there. You're saying that she's OnlyFans. Now, if you believe that because you're doing OnlyFans, you're also selling pussy, we can even leave it at that. I mean, that would be fine if that's your statement. But if you
I
don't
mean, I think
agree,
OnlyFans is selling ass.
Yeah,
but
literally,
but I'm
bro.
talking,
Like,
but
what's with these
we're
semantics,
talking
bruh?
about because you can be
It's
Bro,
like
selling.
there's a
you
OnlyFans
niggas,
Wait,
girl
come
wait,
out
wait.
here
on, my
not trying
nigga.
to
Oh,
offend.
you have
I
OnlyFans and
Man,
you
can we
no
let folks
stop.
finish?
Everybody in here, stop. You can be on OnlyFans and sell content to people and not sell your body to people. They're two different things. You all are conflating the
They have a
two and
price
making it
though.
seem as though everyone on well, I won't
They
say,
have a
not
price.
saying this
but
verbatim.
that's not what this
I
woman
said,
is
not
though,
saying
Wes.
this verbatim, but in this instance, just because she could have been an OnlyFans girl and a cam girl selling content does not mean that she was also
Yo,
selling her
are
body
y'all
and
Gen
meeting with
Z,
people. Can
bruh?
you all
Y'all
not
Gen Z
talk while
niggas?
But
people are making
Wes,
points?
Y'all
My
Gen Z
God,
niggas?
why do these
if
niggas in
she's
here feel like they have to talk while other people are making points? Go ahead, Omar.
No,
Man,
no, no.
please
Real
let
quick,
folks
please
finish.
answer. Are
I
y'all
didn't even
Gen
get to
Z
finish
niggas?
my main point
Now go
earlier,
ahead,
bro.
What does
Omar.
that mean
I
though? Like
wanted
you
to
mean
hear
like
Are
you.
y'all
Like
OG
I'm
Gen Z
niggas or
listening.
niggas?
just niggas
Wes,
that don't think the way that you think?
I'm sorry I did that, bro. I'm so sorry. But Wes, if she's selling like her body to people and things of that nature, I think obviously all that shit is in the same ballpark. But regardless, it's not the same as like meeting up with people, sure, but like it's all within the same ballpark. But as far as um, I'm going off of if Shannon Sharp's text messages are true, if she is if she is selling herself to him for like a sexual encounter, right? Now, I'm not saying that is true, but in the case that if that is true, I don't think she's being preyed on at that point because one, she is benefiting from that relationship financially. And on top of that, if he is not coercing her, if he's not assaulting her, if he's not doing things of that nature to get her to even do this, then like I don't see how she's being preyed on. Now, if he is doing that, then yes, he's a predator. But if that's not the case, that's the whole point of this
I just
case right
don't,
now,
but
I
I
would
just don't,
assume.
I just don't want you to take it away from the point that I was trying to make. And I know we got lost in the weeds with like other conversations and talking points. So you believe that the tweets that or the text that Shannon Sharp put at the top of his statement to be true. You like, and for the sake of
I,
this
I don't
conversation,
know. I don't
no, no, I
know.
understand. For the sake of it, we're saying that there could be some truth to it.
I mean,
Is
yeah.
okay, fine. So then, with that being said, we can take both sides. That 25K for each cheek, big juicy ass, could just be talk. I think a lot of this has all been talk, especially as more text messages have come out. But let's even go down the path that she is genuinely selling her ass for 25K per each cheek. You believe that transaction don't mean it's predatory? Yes or no? Just a yes or no.
Do I believe that if she's selling her ass and not being forced in any way, shape,
Yeah,
or form to do so,
not like
right?
yeah, 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 yeah.
No, I don't think it's predatory.
Okay, cool. So then on the other side, and this is where James was going, do you believe that Zion was being preyed on?
What was Zion's situation again? It was like Mariah Mills and was she?
Let's say that
What
there's a
was her?
text message that says Zion well she's a fan or he's a fan of her. He knows he has to her and she's posing it as he has to pay for her time, attention, love, and affection. And because he is in his specific mental state or whatever the case may be, he's paying for it. He's spending money on her in order to get this time, affection, all that stuff like that. Because Zion is paying for it, does that mean he's not being preyed on?
If he's paying for love and affection, like
That's a
to
grown
fuck,
man. No, he not getting preyed on.
to fuck her? No, how's that
Mm.
predatory?
Okay, I think
Wait,
that's
I'm confused.
Hold
Is
on, hold
this
on,
is
hold on, hold
this
on, hold
like?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
I'm confused.
Are we dead at like a 22-year-old Zion Williamson? Because at the time, that Mariah Mills shit, I think it broke 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So I think he was 22, if I'm also not mistaken. Could have been younger. But let's go with 22. A 22-year-old Zion Williamson could not be preyed on by a 30-year-old woman.
No,
Wait,
That
I'm
is
no.
so
confused. I'm
Like
silly.
confused. Time out. Time out.
That
Time
is
out. Time
so
it's
out.
you could
silly.
call it a double
That
standard,
is
Time
so
out.
bruh. But
Time
silly.
like,
It's
out.
come
so
on, bro. What
silly.
are we
So
whining
and
about,
it's
bro?
as dumb as
Time out, time out,
metaphor.
time out. What I'm
It's as
confused
dumb as
about, what I'm
metaphor
confused about is
sitting on
I'm
his
confused. I don't know
coochie.
Zion. I don't remember
Hold on.
Zion's situation like that. And also, I think the differences between both situations is that uh Zion was the one that was buying, and Zion was the younger one in that situation.
So he's not predatory.
Shannon Sharp is the older one, and he's the one paying for the
He
sex.
asked if Zion could be getting preyed on though.
I don't know if Zion's situation. I thought he was just fucking her
they
and
were both paying
paying.
for
Nigga,
sex in the same
it's the same thing, yo.
it's really the same. It's really the same
So
incident. I
One's
ain't gonna lie
older,
to you.
one's younger. But
Yeah.
yeah,
again,
so I don't
the
see
man
how
and the
that
woman are
changes.
both in
How
a
is that
position.
predatory?
Go ahead.
I would still say the same thing. It's not predatory.
Yeah, I just
Not
like respectfully because I fuck with you. I think you're wrong about that. I don't know how we would have a conversation to change your view, and maybe we would never
Wait,
accomplish it.
Wes,
But
but you're the one who just sat here and said Shannon Sharp wasn't predatory.
I again, for pursuing a 19-year-old inherently, I said that doesn't like inherently make you predatory. It's not
But
that behavior
Zion's
isn't
being preyed on.
always predatory. But
But
I do
what makes
think
Zion shit predatory though?
I said again, I didn't say correct me if I'm wrong. I don't ever explicitly remember saying, "Yo, Shannon is not a predator for doing this." I didn't say that.